Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be testing out my recently acquired PlayStation 5 Pro. Now originally I was supposed to get this on Friday, but there was a shipment delay, unfortunately, so I got it yesterday evening on Saturday. But we're going to test out the overall sound noise. I did buy the separate $80 disk drive add-on, so I do have that installed, along with the longer pegs for the horizontal stand. And we're just going to get an overall look at the console, see how much noise it generates, test out the disk drive, and we'll take things from there. I will set up a decibel meter on my Android enabled phone, and we'll first start off with a boot up test of the console, so stay tuned. Okay, so the app I'm running on my Android is called Decibel X. It does measure decibel meters. Now, is it 100% accurate? Probably not, but we're going to go ahead and start it up. I got my PS5 black DualSense controller here. I'm going to start that up, power it on, and we'll see how much noise it generates. So we did boot up into the dashboard. And it looks like we're setting around 38 decibels. 38 to 39 idle in the PS5 Pro dashboard. So next we're going to start up a game and see how much noise it'll generate when we start up a game. So stay tuned. Alright, so the first game we're going to test out is Marvel Spider-Man 2. So I do have the controller in my hand. I'm going to hit X, and we're going to go and start the game. So here we go. So sitting in the menu here, looks like we're sitting around 48 dB. And I will say the PS5 Pro is not necessarily quiet, nor is it obnoxiously loud. But the fan definitely does generate some noise because this GPU in here, which is equivalent to a 7800 XT by AMD, does require a lot more power. Another thing I want to mention is the GPU in here is, or the system on a chip on here is 4 nanometer, which a lot of people don't mention. But I did look it up, and they did decrease it from the 6 nanometer on the current PS5 Slim that was out prior. And so we are booted here into the game. And just to show you, we are currently running the Fidelity Pro mode, which targets 30 frames per second, but we will try out the 60 frames per second mode. But currently, we're between 47 and 48 dB. And at the rear of the console, it's around 49 dB, which is where the fan exhausts here from the rear of the PS5 Pro. And again, back to the front, between 47 and 48 decibels. So we'll go ahead and enable the 60 frames per second Pro performance mode, and we'll see what difference it makes in the GPU noise, or actually fan noise, I should say. Okay, so now we're in the performance Pro mode, which targets 60 frames per second, and we're just going to be sitting here idle. Looks to be around the same fan noise. Now the fan in this is a FoxConn fan. And the reason I know that is because my prior PS5 Slim had one. It's the same exact design on the shroud of the fan. Everything seems the same, even the color of the power cables. So back to what I was saying, I would say the PS5 Pro isn't necessarily obnoxiously loud, but it does generate some definite noise because we are pushing more GPU power with a 16.7 teraflops of power, along with a 390 watt power supply. And for those of you who are also wondering, which I'll throw on the screen, the firmware that this console came on was version 9.40 before I did update it. But overall, I did have to update it because I do have the disk drive. And for those of you who are looking to exploit the console, I don't really see that high of a firmware going to be able to have any real exploits, unfortunately. But I guess we'll take things from there. So next we're going to test out a game with a disc, and that will be Silent Hill 2. And I will test out the disk drive noise and see how it plays. So stay tuned for that video. Okay, so I just got out of the dashboard, just basically totally closed out the game. And we're going to insert the Silent Hill 2 disc and to listen up for the disk drive noise, which is going to be just the same as the PS5 Slim, because it's the same disk drive, which is pretty noisy. And it's also creating vibrations which may probably affect the actual noise, but we'll go ahead and start the game here. Now the game is fully installed, so the disk drive is not going to spin very long, but I'll go ahead and move to the back as well. So from the back, because the disk drive is farther away, we're sitting around 56 dB. Now the disk drive stops spinning, so obviously it's going to create less noise. Okay, so we're in game and we are in the Fidelity mode, which targets 30 frames per second. And we seem to be between 48 and 49 dB. Just sitting on the title screen here, or not the title screen, but gameplay, kind of slowly moving around. Again, between 48 and 49 decibels. So, like I said, the PS5 Pro is not exactly the quietest console. It does make more noise than my prior PS5 Slim with the same FoxConn fan. But it is tolerable. It's not horrible. And we'll take things from there. So we'll go ahead and back out of the game. I'm going to show you just closing the game, what difference it makes in sound. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close the game here. Get ready to push X here. We're going to close it and then watch the decibels drop as we close the game. So it looks like idle on the dashboard around 44 dB here. Go ahead and press the eject button and get this disc out. So yeah, it's going to still generate the same disk drive noise as the prior PS5 Slim because the disk drive is actually identical, obviously. And we'll test out one more game, so stay tuned. Okay, another game worth trying out, which is very GPU intensive, is Cyberpunk 2077. So we're getting ready to start the game here. I'll hit X on my controller right about now. So again, we seem to be between 47 and 48 dB. We'll go ahead and load a game here just so we're in gameplay. and see what difference it makes here. So this one seems a little bit quieter. It seems to be between 46 and 47 in game. Now this did not get a PS5 Pro patch, so we're currently just running it in the same mode, maybe at a slightly higher frames per second possibility. But overall, it's going to look exactly the same. But the fan seems to be spinning a little bit slower, between 46 and 47 dB. And we'll move to the back here. And towards the back by the exhaust port, we're at between 48 and 49 decibels with the PS5 Pro. And then back to the front, back to between 46 and 47 dB. So I think that overall kind of gives you an idea of how much noise it generates. My overall thoughts on the PS5 in general is, no, it's not worth the price tag. I'm more of an enthusiast-based gamer, so I do like to have the latest and greatest, whether it be for PC, graphics cards, CPUs, what have you. I'm just into having the latest and greatest. That's just my type of thing. But I think eventually they're going to lower the price maybe to $5.99. And I do think that if you are looking to get one, maybe just wait until the price does reduce. Of course, we got Black Friday coming, we got Christmas holidays coming, so I would personally wait. There's not a significant difference. I know Digital Foundry did a long video presentation where they basically had to pull out a digital magnifying glass to show you the differences. But overall, I think it's pretty fun. It's a slight visual bump in fidelity, and I think basically what the PS5 Pro targets is running games at the prior quality mode on the standard PS5, but just upping the frames per second to 60 frames per second. I think that's essentially what it was designed to do. Run games at prior quality mode, but at a higher frames per second. And then as for the fidelity mode, of course we're targeting 30 FPS with maybe some RTX features enabled, ray tracing, more reflections, and a slightly higher visual target. And then as for the PS4 upgrade, which I do have enabled in the game options here, that basically will allow you to run PS4 games at a slightly higher visual fidelity. It just, basically what it will do is it'll increase the filtering and also the aliasing. It reduces some of the jagged edges. And for those of you wondering, I'm not using my internal SSD at all, and it has a free space of 1.81 terabytes. I just basically, on my PS5s, is I always run an M2, a 4 terabyte drive. So with the 4 terabyte drive with numerous games installed, I mean just a crap ton of games. I have 578 gigabytes of free space. But I would recommend, if you have a lot of games installed and you want to make sure that your SSD, your internal SSD in your PS5 is not being used, because if that does get used up too much, it's possible that it could wear down and it could fail. So basically my system is I install all my games on my M2 SSD. I'm running a Western Digital SN850X 4 terabyte drive, and I just install all my games onto that to reduce the wear and tear on my internal storage. So the whole 2 terabyte add-on is really makes no difference to me because I just run an M2 SSD. But as you can see, you can install a whole bunch of games. Got quite a long list of games here, and if there's any other games you do want to see me test out, just let me know in the comments. Now, I did record some videos already. I got, I think, 6 videos that I do have uploading later today featuring some games, which I will put into a playlist. And they basically feature some games that I did test with the 4 aka Fidelity mode, as well as the Pro performance mode. So I did test out Spider-Man 2, Alan Wake 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Red Dead Redemption 2, F1 2024, and what game was that called? Whatever game this is called. Just my mind's just not working now for some reason. But the racing game with the cars in the Wahoo, Hawaii, Crew Motorfest. Yeah, that's what it was. So those videos will be up momentarily. But if you did like the video, do give this video a like. And the firmware, I think I did mention this in my prior videos, but the firmware that this console is set on when you first boot it up before updating is 9.40. I will again throw that on screen. And the process of installing M2 SSD is pretty much identical how it was on the PS5 Slim. So really no difference there. And if you do have a bunch of disc games, I do recommend getting the disc drive. I think it looks better, it sits better with the actual disc drive there. And one other thing that I want to know is the actual lighting. On my PS5 Slim, there was like a dead point in the lighting where the lights would just be like kind of broken, like there would be a gap. This one doesn't seem to have that gap, so I do appreciate the fact that for this PS5 Pro, they basically fixed that issue of the lighting where it would be a small gap. It looked like it would be a defect to the lighting. But it's probably hard to tell because I do have my lighting set to dim. But let me see if I could just show you, because I think it's worth mentioning. Let me go to my power options here. Brightness, I got it set to dim because I like to run my Slim overnight when downloading updates. But if you could see here, before there would be a gap, it would show like a small, turn off the light here. There would be a gap where it'd show like basically a defect in light, but this one seems to be fully covered here from beginning to end, which I do appreciate that they did fix that slight defect in lighting. So just want to take things from there and mention that one little small detail which some people may or may not know. And then one other thing that I also want to mention before I close out this video is if you do record videos, you just set up your new PS5 Pro, go push the PlayStation button, go to the sound icon, and in the media volume, set this video to all the way max. That will increase the volume recording of your videos. So that's something you definitely have to do. Even if you restore your PS5 to a prior level, you do have to raise that if you want your in-game video recordings to be at a higher volume, because by default it's basically towards the middle there where the music one is, and do fix that one issue. So if the video was helpful and you did enjoy it, do give this video a like. I know it's a little bit longer than I want it to be, but I wanted to cover all the details of my PS5 Slim, PS5 Pro, all in one video. But thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support. If you want to see the playlist of the gaming videos, feel free to subscribe. Check out that playlist and we'll take things from there. But thanks for watching. See you guys around. Hope you guys appreciate the video, and we'll take things from there. But that brings you the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's my little mini review and analysis on the sound noise. So it is noisier, but it's not horribly loud. Thanks for watching. See you guys around. Peace out.